Well, hello again and welcome to Rollins Reviews. All right, here we go. So you asked for it. Here I am. All right, so this is from David Seaton from WVON Talk of Chicago. Now, this guy is going to expose and tell the truth. He's not going to be like that flunky that the super mayor was sitting with, all right, and saying all of the nice pleasantries. So this guy is actually talking to the trustees. How you doing, Prima Donna, Jermaine, Laurie, Chubbs? Hello, everyone. U.S. Army retired, Michael Stephen. Hello. How are you? Those of you who are here, do me one small favor, if you will. If you'll hit that like button, that will tell YouTube that, how you doing, Laurie? You're enjoying this content, and they'll trigger the logarithm and send some more people into the chat. All right. So if you are familiar with this topic, let me know. And we'll listen to what's being said. And it seems like every day there's another onion that's peeled from the super mayor, and she needs to get her house in order. I was saying that prior to January the 20th, and things every day it's just going downhill. It's like rearranging the chairs on the deck of the Titanic. It's still sinking. So yeah, let me do the roll call. U.S. Army retired. How are you doing? Michael Stephen, how are you, love? Prima Donna, hello again. And Jermaine and Laurie and Chubbs. Chubbs, I thought you were going to be asleep. You're trying to hang in there, burn that midnight oil. It's all right with me, love. So I'll get this started so you can hear some of what's being said. This guy, you'll see the difference. The difference is night and day. So the way this guy is talking, say, as opposed to when the super mayor sat down with that lady. How you doing, traveling mom? You did make it back. Okay. All right. So this was live stream on WVON, Talk of Chicago. And so in her head, in her alternative universe, people still love her, but people are sick of her. And Chubbs, Miss Rowland, when you are on, I stay up. Thank you, Chubbs. Oh, I'm going to send Chubby a few little hearts here, because Chubbs, most of the time, Chubbs is like, okay, I'm going to head out. All right. So, yeah, Prima Donna said David Seaton is top shelf. Thank you, Prima Donna. Yeah, this guy, stark difference between him and what's her face, Cleopatra. So listen to this. Prima Donna, if you have Facebook, please share this on Facebook. The rest of you, if you have Facebook, Instagram, some of you I know have Truth Social, share this. So in her own little world, nothing new to see here. Everything's great. But we all know every day, yeah, it's falling apart. It's crumbling. Her empire is crumbling. So let me get it started. U.S. Army, I hope that you can, thank you, Florida. I hope that you can get that worked out. Sounds like you're having a glitch. All right, let me get this going, folks. Here we go.
WVON.
Welcome back, everybody, to the David Seaton Show. I'm really excited about this particular segment. We wanted to give an update on what is going on in the village of Dolton. We've got some breaking news. I've got joining us on the live line, we have Trustee Kiana Belcher, who is joining us. Trustee Belcher, thank you for joining us on the David Seaton Show.
Thank you for having me.
No, not at all. So kind of give us an update. There's been so much drama going on, even now, between the trustees and Mayor Henyard and people are not showing up to, she's accusing trustees of not showing up to meetings, so they can't have a quorum. So she's placing the blame squarely on the trustees and accusing the trustees of standing in the way of the village of Dolton getting their business done. What's your position on what's going on in the village of Dolton?
First, David, I'd like to say thank you. What is happening is people are getting it first confused. The issue that she is having with the township trustees is not them not coming to meetings. That's not the village of Dolton trustees.
Okay.
So there's two separate entities with one common problem, which is her. And it's sad because Thornton Township, which consists of 17 municipalities, which Dolton is included in one of those 17 municipalities, there's a lot of chaos. And there's trouble, financial troubles, FBI subpoenas have come out, have been issued, and a lot of mismanagement of government at this point. It's been 3.5 years, and anybody that has been following Dolton at first will see that there have been 4 and 5, because we lost one during the re-election cycle, 5 trustees that have been working diligently against this chaos.
So let me ask you.
And I say, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's a problem because you're just going in and out, and so it's a little bit of a delay. So let me ask you this. Tiffany Henyard is saying that all of the financial malfeasance, all of the mismanagement, she's saying, hey, I'm not even in control of any of that. That's the trustees who are responsible for everything that's going on as far as the budget being upside down. And when she came in, when she got elected as mayor, the village of Dolton had a surplus of something like $2.3 to $3 million. Now you have a deficit of 5. So, while she's being mayor, we've seen the village go upside down about $6 to $7 million, but she's blaming that on the trustees. Go ahead and tell our listeners from your perspective as a trustee, who's really responsible for the mismanagement that's going on in the village?
The mayor and the mayor's administration. The trustees are the legislative branch, and they also oversee the finances. And when I say oversee it, yes, we are the people that approve a budget, but those budgets are line item by the department heads, and we go through what's coming in, what's going out. We got to a point where we were not receiving any financials, and if you even follow the Lori Lightfoot, where the spending of money of the administration, who's hired by the mayor because she has not been following any ordinances, those are spending of the administration. The trustees don't have a credit card. The trustees don't go out and enter into any contracts with anyone. So when that lie is being told, because that's what it is, it's a blatant lie. When that lie is being told, there's always, both sides. The trustees don't have any power to say, hey, I want you to come and do X, Y, Z, and I'm going to just get the invoice and send it. It doesn't work like that. So the mismanagement of funds throughout the course of these almost 4 years, where this balance has been from the $5 million surplus to the $3 million over that span of time, almost $9 million. If you look at it, because it's all that you spent and then you went into the hole. So,
but you just said something, Trustee Belcher, you just said something really, really important. You said that the trustees, you are the legislative branch, and that the mayor is the executive branch. You said that the legislative branch, you appropriate the money, but when the checks actually have to be written, those checks and those payments are coming out of the executive branch. So that is under the control, direct control, and sole control of the mayor. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct.
So it begs the question. For those of you out there who are listening, I want you to just listen to what the trustee just said. The trustees are like Congress, and the mayor is the executive. So that's like the president. So the trustees, as the legislative branch, they go and they pass a budget and say, hey, the village, we're going to approve the village to spend X amount of dollars. But when the checks are actually written, the checks are not written by the trustees. That is under control of the executive branch. So if you're looking at money that's being spent, and let me just put a finer point on it, Trustee Belcher. The other issue, because I haven't read Lori Lightfoot's report, but I do know this from the reporting over the years, that a lot of what's happening is that when the trustees meet, you're getting a lot of invoices for expenses that you never approved. Again, that can only be executed by the mayor. Is that correct?
Absolutely. That is absolutely correct. We had an example, and I'll just give one example because there's so many, where one of the vendors contacted us and said that she approved a $2.8 million, she got an estimate for $2.8 million to cut trees. And he proceeded to start cutting these trees with $2.8 million estimate when there was only $400,000 budgeted in the budget for tree cutting. So those are the type of
wait. I have to have you repeat that because I want people to hear that. You're saying that the trustees of the Village of Dolton appropriated in their budget $400,000 for tree trimming services, but when you actually got the invoice that the mayor executed, you got an invoice for $2.8 million?
Well, we received the copy of the estimate after we started getting all of these invoices, which started way exceeding $400,000. So we started taking it off of the warrant list, which is something, we get the list for approval. So he didn't make it to the $2.8 million, of course, because we didn't have that type of funds, but he had proceeded to start working under the assumption that he would be getting $2.8 million for all his tree trimming.
Hey, I'll tell you this, Trustee Belcher. If you give me an invoice for $2.8 million for tree trimming, guess what? I'll start tomorrow, a tree trimming service. How many people? What's the approximate the population of Dolton?
About 21,360, I believe.
So just to break that down, 2.8 million divided by $21,360. She's asking every resident to pay approximately $131 to get it. It's not even that $2.8 million worth of trees in Dolton. But hold on. So I'm going to take our first break. Everybody, don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. We've got some more breaking news that happened today, and we've got some other guests. You don't want to miss it. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. We'll be right back.
So he's on a break. So I'll lower the volume while he takes his break. So you're hearing it. Okay. Now, I think it was Michael. Michael said, now this is how an interview is supposed to be conducted. Yes, Michael, this is an interview, not that crap I shared with you the other day with Cleopatra. So this is how it's supposed to be done. And this guy, he's supposed to be a straight shooter. He said he's going to keep on until she is done. Hit that like button, folks. Those of you, Michael, Fridge, Chubbs, FSU grad, how are you? Anthony Capone, those of you who have Facebook and Instagram, please share this stream out. Let's bring more people into the conversation. This woman has told so many lies. Yeah. What are your thoughts so far with what you've heard, folks? Because we have talked about a lot of this. And hey, Chubb said this brother is trying to find out the truth. Right. This is how an interview is supposed to be conducted. Oh my God. Let's see what he's saying. Hold on.
Experience too powerful.
All right. So they're still on a commercial break. So this is how it's supposed to be done. Not that crap that I shared with you the other day. So hit that like button, share this content out. Let's bring more people. Yeah, FSU grad. All right. Tell me, as we're watching, folks, tell me what your thoughts are. You're hearing the unabated truth, not the lies that who, the super mayor, has been spreading. She's losing every day now. Something bad is happening to her every day. So let's trigger that YouTube algorithm. See if he's ready to get started again. Let's see.
This January, Bond TV is your time.
Okay, yeah. So they're still on a commercial break, and this is what it's all about, folks. The truth. And remember, I kept telling you, she kept, how you doing, K Hustle? Right, K Hustle. Now, how are you going to have someone out there cutting trees and you don't have enough money allocated? And Dolton's not that big. K Hustle, I heard they were double dipping with the tree contracts. First trim them, then come back around and cut the trim tree. Right. You know, shady shenanigans. Exactly. And you know, she hired people that she's friends with. So I don't know if this is the same guy, because you know, in one of the FBI investigations, there was a contractor who's under FBI investigation, and her name is involved with that too. So yeah, this is what's going. K Hustle, tell us everything that you know, love.
Minutes downtown.
Okay, yeah, they're still on a commercial break. So every day the sky is falling. So I think she has lied so much that she actually is starting to believe it herself. You know it's not true. I know it's not true. But the people that she has surrounded herself with, she doesn't have one person around her that will tell her the truth that means her any good. All right, I think they're going to get started again.
And now back.
Okay, they're coming back now.
Chicago, 1690
Here we go.
WVON.
That's one of my favorites from Brian McKnight. We've got Kiana, Trustee Kiana Belcher on the line. I want to pick up Dr. Nikita. I know I told you ladies I was going to do this in a different order, but let me pick up Dr. Nikita first. Dr. Nikita, thank you for joining us today. You have an update on some news that just broke about Mayor Henyard.
Hey, David, how are you?
I am well, thank you, and welcome back to the show.
Oh, yeah, no, wonderful. It's always a pleasure. You're absolutely one of the best. So today, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard is facing one charge of criminal contempt due to the fact that she was trying to shake down a business owner in Dolton, and she refused to give them their business license and their liquor license. So today, after actually a year, almost a year, because it was since May of 2024, she's been refusing to give them the necessary paperwork to open after they spent over $6 million.
Just say that last part about the $6 million.
They spent $6 million to date to build this building, put it together, a restaurant, a multi-level restaurant, Black-owned steakhouse.
Yes.
It was absolutely beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And they've been fighting Ms. Henyard for almost a year to get their proper licensing just to open. And guess what? Today, the judge saw it their way, and they found Henyard in criminal contempt at court today.
So what does that mean? What's going to be the ramifications of that judicial finding?
Well, they got their license. They made her sign them on the spot. The judge made her sign them on the spot. But her attorney has 14 days to file an appearance to try to, say, hey, why shouldn't they put her in jail, or why shouldn't they fine her, or whatever. So that's where we at.
So that's my question: is that one of the ramifications that Mayor Henyard one of the sanctions might be jail time?
Yeah, one of them sanctions might be jail time. So I actually have Ms. Camaro. Yeah. So yeah, you'll be able to talk to her as well. Right.
We've got Tiffany on the line, and she's the owner of that establishment you were just talking about. Thanks for joining us, Tiffany.
Hi, David.
Hold on one second, folks. I wanted to say something about that, because when you hear Tiffany, what is she always harping on? I'm a Black woman who's in power, and she's always telling the other Black people to support her because she's Black. Now, did anyone just hear what she was found in contempt for? Fridge, secrets exposed. Who is snitching? Michael, she was hoping they would build a restaurant and get tired of waiting and just give up so she could buy the restaurant. Michael, this isn't the first time that she was involved in a shakedown. Remember, there were some other folks, some other businesses, and she told them if they did not support her, guess what? You're not going to get what you want. She was trying to shut them down. So again, she's always, I'm black, support me. You're black, you are supposed to support me. Look at what she's doing to a black owned business trying to open up. So, Rita, how are you? Rita, I don't know. With everything else, they're probably going to throw the book at her. She has done this more than once. So tell me what you think. Chubb said Big Bertha is waiting. Woo, here we go. Michael said yes, yes, and yes. Thank you, Michael. Here we go.
How are you? Thanks for having me.
No, we appreciate it. Tell our listeners, what feelings of vindication did you have when you had the judge force the mayor to finally sign off on you getting your permit to your business permit?
You know, like Dr. Nikita said, this has been ongoing, even in the court systems. Like you have to hold her accountable. And this morning, she finally was held accountable because her plan was to come into court again and postpone it as long as possible. This is the third court date in a week and a half that we've come trying to get the license signed. Every time she says she would sign it, she comes back with something else. You have to sign it before 5 o'clock. It never gets done. It never gets sent. And then we're back in court again. Finally, the judge saw it our way and made her sign it. And I'm hoping that we are able to open some.
So Tiffany, pardon me, Tiffany, Dr. Nikita just said, with whom are you partnered around this particular business?
This is me and my husband.
Okay, and she said that Dr. Nikita just said that you've invested up to $6 million.
Actually, it's over $6 million. So this all started. We already have a business in Dolton, and our plan was to build a new business here where Old Animal Hospital had been vacant for years, and nothing in the south suburbs. We don't have anything to go to, no restaurant, no community place where we can feel safe and have a good time. If the only place where we have to go to is downtown, it's nowhere in the south suburbs, it's nowhere in Indiana. So that was our vision in this. This community needs this. People ask me, well, why would you come to Dolton? Well, why not Dolton? Why not to our own community?
Well, let me give you the opportunity
to start from somewhere.
No, absolutely, and I applaud and I commend you and your husband, because speaking as a business owner, when you're taking on millions of dollars of risk to open up a business, absolutely. you're putting your own future. Are you and your husband? Do you have children?
We do.
So you've got small children at home, and you're putting it all on the line to build a
small children. They're all adults, but they have the grandkids. I have my parents I take care of. It's still, you're putting my livelihood in jeopardy.
Now let me give you an opportunity to respond to what Dr. Nikita just said, because she used a very specific word. She said that over the last year that the mayor was trying to shake you down. I want to give you the opportunity to actually respond to that and clarify that.
Well, I don't want to be specific here because everything is still
right. Say, I understand. Say everything. Sure.
But I will say once we stopped donating, once all that happened, everything stopped. The communication stopped because we didn't just donate to her; we donated to both sides.
Okay.
We tried our best to stay out of the political eye.
Okay.
Because with business owners, that's it.
Okay.
The only reason why the mayor was even involved because she is the mayor, she has to issue the permit. That has to happen. But we tried our best to stay out of this political fire.
I completely understand. Let me, Trustee Belcher, is this something? Listening to this story from like I said, a fellow business owner, she and her husband have put a ton of money. They're trying to invest in the village of Dolton. Is there any conversation at the trustee level of taking away some of these responsibilities from the executive so that if you do have a mayor in the future who is either inefficacious or just morally bankrupt, that you don't have to have one person who can control what's going on? Because in some villages, in some cities, there's a specific individual who handles, issuing business licenses. It doesn't go to the mayor. Understandably, the village of mayor of Dolton is smaller, but are the trustees having conversations about how to rewrite the laws of the village so you don't have individuals who can take advantage of the citizens?
Well, most of these ordinances are already in place. We just have a person that don't follow the laws. And
wait. So you're saying that when Mayor Henyard was withholding this business license from Tiffany and her husband, you're saying she was doing it in contravention of ordinances that are on the books?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you see the hypocrisy, folks? Again, what is Tiffany Henyard, the super mayor, always saying? I'm black, you're black, support me. And then as soon as they stop supporting, giving her money, supporting her financially, she kept blocking, and a judge had to make her do the right thing. Tell me, folks, I'm trying to keep up with your comments. Tell me what your thoughts are. Hit that like button. We have over 117 people in the chat, and only 43 people have hit that like button, folks. Aurelius, how are you doing? U.S. Army, you're back. U.S. Army, tell me what you think about this. You know how I feel. Lanita, stay warm, love. What are your thoughts on this? Oh, my God. I'll continue. I'm going to keep up with your thoughts and comments.
Saying that. And most of the time, before Mayor Henyard was the mayor, which she sat on the board for 8 years, she knew how bringing businesses in front of the board or even in front of the community, because it affects everyone. And there's a process. We have a village administrator. The mayor in Dolton is a part-time position. So the village administrator handles a lot of things where the applications are taken in. Normally about April, it goes to the department where the business department, they look over and make sure everything is in order. And then it used to be a process where the mayor and the clerk was signing off on it. So it was two-part. Of course, when she came in, it's her way or the highway. And there are a lot of ordinances that are in place and she's just not following them.
So now that you have your business license signed off on, what's the ETA for you and your husband to have your opening?
So we're looking for the Super Bowl day, which is a soft opening. That's the goal at this point.
Tiffany,
we can get.
Congratulations to you and your
Thank
husband.
you.
I've been covering this story for a while, and I've been telling people, just keep suing, keep turning her in, and she won't be able to get away with this forever. I am so happy for you and your husband. And look,
thank you.
I guess I'm going to have to come out. Look, I don't know if it's safe for me to come out to Dolton and visit your place. Tiffany, she'll have the police looking for me. Tiffany, I appreciate it. Is there? Do you want to hang out for a minute? Is there any other information you want to share with our listeners?
No, that pretty much sums it up. The residents have been following it, so they know what's going on.
Tiffany, congratulations. What's the name of your steakhouse?
Thank you. St. Patrick's Restaurant.
St. Patrick's Restaurant, everybody in Dolton, Illinois. Thank you, Tiffany. I'm going to shout that out to everybody in Dolton. Make sure you go to St. Patrick's Restaurant and Steakhouse. We're going to continue this conversation. We've still got Trustee Belcher on the line, and we're also waiting for one of the other trustees to call in. This is a really, really important story. I hate to see corruption, and I especially hate to see our people taking advantage of our people. We're going to take another quick break, everybody. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. And for those of you on Facebook in the room, share this with somebody in Dolton.
And again, folks, the hypocrisy, where she's always, I'm black. Everything with her, black, blackity black. And look at how she's doing black people. But she's always, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're black. and you're beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Tiffany, newsflash, love, what do you think you're doing? So she is a hypocrite. Oh my God. What are your thoughts, folks? I don't know what else to say. They took another break, so I am lost in the sauce. And these aren't the only people that she was doing this to. And again, this guy he knows how to conduct an interview. No softball, and he's getting the truth. Right, Lanita? That's diabolical. I mean, you know, how many times have I shared videos with her? She's attacking the trustees because remember, all of this is because they're jealous of her, because she's black, and because she's a woman. Lady, look at how you're treating people. That is diabolical. Hit that like button for me, please, folks. I have over 110 people in here and 50 likes. And we've had almost 400 people to come through. If I could get people to hit that like button, we would, YouTube would really share it out. Rita, off topic, did you see Tiff donated over $50,000? What was that about? Tiffany, I heard, Rita, I heard she supposedly, with her, wasn't it something, there was something with that though. Right, Rita? She donated $50,000 to herself for reelect. Yeah, I saw something about that. How you doing, Mojo? Mojo said Leotis makes $100,000 as the nanny. Yes. Michael, she kicks up the chaos. She keeps up the chaos to throw everyone off and deflect every time. Right, Michael? And she says it's because of racism and sexism. They're jealous of her because she ascended and she's so young. She ascended to power so young. And no, it's how you're treating the people, your constituents and your trustees. And I showed a video of how she acted as a trustee. And I don't know why people voted for her thinking that it would be different. She was no piece of cake when she was a trustee. So you give a person like that power, OMG, it just gets worse. It's just downhill. What are your thoughts so far, folks, on the interview? Tell me what you think. Mojo, Blue Magic. Rita said nasty human. Yes. So you give a narcissist power. As a trustee, she was nasty. Rita, I don't think you were here, but I shared a video. She was nasty. And then they thought it was okay to choose her for mayor? Michael, I hope the township sues Kamal for all that pay he's been stealing from a made-up position Tiffany hired him for. Michael, there is so much corruption there. And then I was, Michael, but there is a glimmer of hope. She fired Stephanie Weedman, who is, it shouldn't matter, but she's white. The people can put her right back on the trustee board. And guess who has to swear her in? The super mayor. So Stephanie Weedman was not about the nonsense and the shenanigans. So the super mayor got rid of her. Plus she was white. And Tiffany, super mayor, wanted to get black people, flunkies around her, people who would do what she told them to do and not ask questions. And again, it's like you're on the Titanic rearranging the chairs on the deck. The ship is still going down, people. Okay, how you doing, Foxy Roxy? Yes, Foxy, we're watching that now, love. Anthony, it seems like it's been going on forever. Oh my God, hit the like button for me, folks. Here we go. I think he's back from the break.
All sweaters, 50% off.
Well, he's taking a little sip here, but yeah, looks like he's drinking some of that good iced tea. Oh, that's some good tea.
hubris with on-site altering.
All right, yeah, he's getting set up. So, folks, look at the hypocrisy. Just like we always talk about the hypocrisy of the left. Everything she's doing to these people, she's complaining is being done to her. She wants to be treated with respect because she's a black woman, and she wants to support a black people because she's black. Look at how she's treating other black people. What a hypocrite. Lanita, this is how an interview is supposed to be conducted. Yes, this is an actual real interview. He's getting the truth out. Not that crap I shared with you before. All right, let me see.
The playbook in your hand.
Okay, yeah, they're just about finishing that up. Type in the comment section, folks. What are your thoughts on this? This is unacceptable. I don't care what color you are.
It's David Seaton, Chicago's essential storyteller.
And I'm glad he's exposing it. Here we go. He's playing some music. I better turn it down so I'm not copyrighted. Okay.
Hey, yo, Al. Yeah. Since we done hit them home.
We are back, everybody. We are continuing our conversation with Dolton, Village of Dolton. I keep having a little cerebral flatulence. I keep wanting to say Dolton, but the Village of Dolton. Trustee, we have Kiana Belcher on the line, and joining us now we have Stephanie Weedman. I believe she is on with us. Stephanie, are you there?
I am here.
Thank you for joining us. You just missed. We had Dr. Nikita on, and we had Tiffany, who is the proprietor of the St. Patrick's Restaurant and Steakhouse. That she just finally got her business license today, and Trustee Belcher was informing us that she was found in contempt of court today. And Eric Beecham just posted on the Facebook wall that Mayor Henyard casually strutted into court today, 30 minutes late. What's your feeling? Tell us what you're feeling about her being held in criminal contempt of court today?
I think that we all make decisions, and whatever the repercussions for those decisions are, we have to deal with. Laws are set forth for a reason. And when you choose not to follow them, there's repercussions.
I was talking to Trustee Belcher earlier, and you're joining us, and she's, again, every time I read something about this mayor, and for those of you who are on Facebook, go to the David Seaton Show on YouTube. I've got a whole episode that I did on this mayor, and there's a lot of great content that you can check out, but you can definitely check out the one about Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Explain to me, because most people don't understand this. I remember talking about Mayor Henyard over a year ago, and people were very, very discouraged, and they were asking, how is this woman continuing to get away with this? You know, what do we do? And I encouraged people. I said, hey, keep calling the FBI, keep calling the Attorney General's office, Kwame Raoul, keep holding her feet to the fire, because the more people complain, the more she's going to be investigated. But I've explained to our listeners, especially the people of Dolton who are listening, is there no mechanism in place in the Village of Dolton when you have an executive that is just running roughshod over every law and ordinance on the books? There's no mechanism that the trustees can invoke to rein her in, or rein the mayor in?
Are you asking that of me, or?
Yes, I'm asking. Yeah, I want to ask you. Yes, I was asking you. I'm sorry.
Oh, I do believe that there might be some things that the trustees could take hold of there. I'm not a trustee in the village. I am a newly elected trustee at the township.
Yes. I'm sorry. So you're with Thornton Township. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Okay.
Just the municipality rules and the township rules don't always look the same, so I can't fully answer that for you.
Is there any mechanism at the township, at the municipal level, that if the supervisor of the trustees is abusing the public trust, there's nothing that the trustees of the municipality of Thornton can do to rein that executive in, or to rein the supervisor in?
Yeah, there are some options. There's always a vote of no confidence. There have been a couple things that have been kind of set on the table that the trustees would be able to utilize. But again, this is not something that
any of us have really been through before. So trying to figure out what the right path is would be the next step.
No, and I'm glad you said that. And I'm glad, just so that our listeners understand, we have a trustee from Thornton Township, and then we have Kiana Belcher, who is an actual Village of Dolton trustee. I am completely sympathetic to the enormity of the task that both of you have had to try and navigate, and you, Stephanie, being a new trustee, because the acts of this mayor have been so brazen. You probably have never had to even think of or even conceptualize of what types of rules you would have to put in place, because you've never seen this before. Kiana, what are your thoughts?
You're 100% right. I've been involved in politics for 20 years in Thornton Township, and this that is probably a once a lifetime historical event.
I hope so. but I don't know. I fear that there's going to be some unscrupulous person who is going to run for this office in the future.
Yep.
They're going to see what this mayor, Tiffany Henyard, has gotten away with, and they're just going to be more emboldened. On the video that I did about her, when they did the caucus, when they did the caucus to get her off the ballot, and she was even brazen then. She was being interviewed by the local media and saying, no, I will be victorious. And she said, just like Trump got elected, I'm going to get reelected. I'm going to come in for the win. I can't believe that she is this brazen. But let me go back to you, Stephanie, as a new trustee for the municipality of Thornton. Have you spoken to the other trustees? Is there an agenda to rein in Tiffany Henyard as supervisor? And did she get removed from that ballot as well? Can she even run again for supervisor of Thornton Township?
She cannot. She won't be on the ballot as a party. I think she has the opportunity to run as a write-in still.
Okay.
But I mean, we all know what a tough beat that is, especially with all the negative publicity.
Well, she says she's super mayor. Her people are going to show up for her.
Well, she could have proved that Tuesday when we had the annual town hall meeting for the residents to vote to fill the vacant seat that I just got elected to. But her people, it was a vote of the residents, and the people in the room for me outweighed the people in the room for her.
Now, her first tactic was to try and sue and say that what the Thornton Township did by having a caucus as opposed to a primary, she tried to sue and say that is illegal. I want to let both of you answer this question. Is Mayor Tiffany Henyard really that ignorant of the law? And I think I know the question or the answer, but I want to give both of you the opportunity to answer it. Stephanie, I want you to answer it first. In your dealings with Tiffany Henyard, is she just so wantonly and abjectly ignorant of the law, or do you think that she's getting bad counsel and perhaps that's the source of her hubris?
My personal opinion would be that she is not ignorant of the law. From where I sit, it would seem that she's comfortable moving the way she does because she doesn't take accountability for her actions. She blames other people. So I believe in her eyes, she's not going to have to take accountability for anything because she can point a finger all the time.
You really think she's that bold that she just thinks that there are not going to be any repercussions suffered for all of the malfeasance that she is guilty of, or that she allegedly is guilty of?
I believe so. I believe she blames each person around her. She's picked a person from her team. They're each going to take the hit for something, and I believe she thinks it's going to get her off.
Kiana, you've worked more. Stephanie is new. She just got elected. Congratulations, by the way, on your election.
Thank you.
Kiana, you've been working more intimately with Mayor Henyard and for a longer period of time. Is it that she's ignorant of the law, or has she just insulated herself and created this echo chamber where she thinks that that she won't be held accountable?
No, I don't think she's ignorant of the law. I think that she has the type of mentality, and she'll just push the buttons. I'm going to see how far I can get. And she has been doing that, and nobody holds her accountable for her actions, so she keeps pushing and pushing. And even as Stephanie states, she always has someone around her that'll take the fall, or someone around that she can point the finger at. She said it plenty of times, even in a meeting where when the trustees were trying to put her on the bank account. No, I don't want my name on the bank. I don't want. Let somebody else be the front of her malfeasance. But I believe she knows exactly what she's doing.
I just find it so difficult to believe, just because, I mean, some of the things that she's done have just been so abjectly important. You know, even doing the, you know, I saw her, she did an interview with Roland Martin on YouTube, and he asked her about when she had the one trustee meeting, and she was dressed up like Nino Brown, and her, you know, just to hear her explain it and say, well, no, I wasn't dressed up like Nino Brown. I was dressed up like Martin because I'm trying to reach out to the kids. And when I hear her say that, I'm thinking, kids don't vote. What do you mean you're dressing up like Martin so you can reach out to the kids? But so, yeah, maybe the kids like you, but all of the adults who have to vote for you, they don't like you. When we come back, we've got to take a quick break. I want to talk to both of you, since we know that she's not going to be on the ballot in Thornton. And I believe that the re-election for the mayor's position in the village is coming up this year in 2025. Is that right, Kiana?
Yes, February 25th, 2025. Early voting starts February 10th.
Quick, wait. Hold that thought, ladies. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, everybody. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. We'll be right back.
Okay, so while they're doing the commercial break, let me respond to your comments. Michael, yes, she blamed Michael Smith for that $40,000 for ice on Amazon in Dolton. First of all, he's not an employee. He has no business touching any credit cards or paperwork. But Michael gets it, just what David Seaton just said. And you see how she didn't want to sign her name to the check. So she's one of those people. She'll throw rocks and then she'll hide her hands. Like, I didn't do it. Okay. Mojo, she watches New Jack City twice a day, hoping for a different ending. Her mind is stuck in the 5th grade. Yes. Lanita, grifters like Tiffany are going to do whatever they can to get away with. Yeah. And you know what it is, folks. And you type in the comment section what your thoughts are. I feel that she does know what she's doing, but she just doesn't care. That's a narcissist. And she knows what she's doing because, again, she knows I don't want to sign my name on that check. And then she has all these flunkies around her. So in her mind, we know, like I know, when the FBI comes knocking, and they are going to come knocking, I bet she will sing like a canary. And all these people who she surrounded herself with, you know, her biggest supporters, she will throw them under the bus. Type in the comment section if you agree or if you disagree. Tell me what your thoughts are. But that's how I feel, because I've seen people operate like this. Pride comes before the fall. She knows what she's doing. She just doesn't give a care. Mojo, a drug dealer reaching out to the kid. Right, Mojo. And she knows doggone well she was spoofing New Jack City. She even had the little stuffed animal Rottweiler dog. So I don't, you know, why would she sit up and tell these lies? No, that was from Martin. No, that was from New Jack City. All of us who've seen that movie knows that's where that came from. So I don't know why she tells lies, and I guess she thinks people aren't going to fact check it. Zelly, how you doing? Zelly agrees. Okay, thank you, Zelly. And Chubbs agrees. Who else? Now, whoever has a different opinion, that's fine. Just tell me what your thoughts are. But she knows what she's doing, but she's like this. What's they say? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. When the rubber meets the road, when those FBI agents are on her and she's sweating out that lace front, she's going to sing like a canary. She's going to Throw those people under the bus, the people that think she loves them so much, because you know she's always, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah. Watch and see how that works for you when the FBI comes knocking.
WVON.
That's nothing but a joke and a fraud. Hey, Hair Hat Tubman going to sing like a bird. Yes, hold your nose. You know it. Yes. Hit that like button, folks. Share this stream out. Subscribe if you're enjoying this content. Thank you so much, folks. Foxy said, I agree. Foxy agrees. Michael agrees. Yes. Laurie.
In the chat earlier, Illal Scratch,
Yes.
Taker. That's a hot one from Brian McKnight back in the day.
So, you know, I know the game that she's playing because I've seen people play this game before. Okay. So she's not fooling me. She was acting like she was Nino Brown from New Jack City. Nino blamed the educated brother from the bank. Yes, Mojo, yes. Any of you who have not seen New Jack City need to see New Jack City.
Just so both of you ladies,
you can understand it better.
There are a ton of people in the Facebook chat who love both of you. I've seen nothing but high fives and just glowing accolades for both of you. So again, congratulations. Both of you are obviously doing something right, and you have the support of your constituents. So again, congratulations to both of you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. And we appreciate each and every one of them.
Yes, ma'am. So Kiana, let's get back to you. You just said the election for the mayor for the village of Dolton is going to be held on February the 25th. And you said early voting starts on February 10th.
That is correct.
So what do people have to do? Well, before we even go there, is there any polling out right now that we can kind of use as a harbinger of the outcome of this election? Do you think that Mayor Tiffany Henyard can get reelected in the village of Dolton?
Well, I'm going to say this because we make calls, we go door knocking, and we have an overwhelmingly amount of support. But you can't take that for granted because there are people that you call and they love her, regardless if it's something they've gotten for free or sometimes it's just mentality of people that feel like I pay this or whatever she's doing, it hasn't been done in all this time. And then
okay, and let me okay. If you've been here and you've been watching the videos that I've made in this series, I have said that. All this, I'm doing this. I have the bouncy house out here for people's children. I have the free boxes of food. I have the free toys. All of this is to buy votes, people. She doesn't care anything about those people. And so regardless of all the horrible things that she has done, the people that she's done for to get the freebies, they're still going to go out and vote for her. Let's keep it real, folks. So we just have to hope and pray that enough people with more than 2 brain cells who look at the entire situation say, time for a change. And look, folks, they put Stephanie Weedman back in there. So, you know, it can happen. Okay, here we go.
Not looking at the long-term effects of the community, but we do have an overwhelming amount of support where people are saying this girl got to go. This girl has to go. It's too much. It's so much negativity. You hate to pull out your ID and it say Dolton because the first thing they say, you down there with that mayor? It's just embarrassing.
And you're really not overstating it at all. Tiffany Henyard has been covered nationally, and when I did my upload on YouTube, there were people who were commenting. I often get people who live in Europe, live in different countries in Europe, and they are following. There are 2 mayors, if no one else, that they are following. They are following Brandon Johnson, and they are following Tiffany Henyard. And Tiffany Henyard, the level of infamy that she has globally, people even outside of the United States cannot fathom just the level of malfeasance that this mayor has been, of what she has been accused, and a lot of it is irrefutable. You know, Kiana, comment on how the police cars at one time for the village were about to get repossessed because she didn't pay the car bill, pay the auto note for the police cars for the village.
Yeah, she has been running this village like she probably runs her household. And it's not the same type of entity where it was like she had an open checkbook, and as much as we tried to stop, it was, people thought that we were just trying to attack her. And I'll say that, and I said it before. Yep. But when you started seeing, oh my God, $43,000 in one day at Amazon being spent, $1.3 million for a skating rink that's bringing in absolutely no income to a community.
Did she buy the skating rink? Did she buy it?
She used taxpayer money.
And she bought it for the village?
She had it built. She had it built on village property. And if you, in my eyesight, if you start building something on property and land that's not yours, it's called stealing to me.
Okay. I had heard the skating rink story before, but I didn't know it was built from. She took $1.3 million, went and hired some contractors and an architect and all that, and built it from the ground up. So now the village owns an asset, I guess, of $1.3 million of a skating rink.
Absolutely.
How does that happen? I mean, obviously, because I've seen this in the news as well. And I'd like to both of you to respond to this, because again, I want my listeners to understand the powers in the legislative and executive branches. When these bills come in, the village and or the township, you can just refuse to pay them if the executive did not go through the appropriate steps to get pre-approval for those expenses, correct?
That is the appropriate way to do it. So we started removing vendors. We started taking them off. Said, no, we're not paying that. It's not approved. So then she started using credit cards. She went to the bank and increased the credit limit on the credit card and started paying them through the credit card. Well, of course, by the time it comes to us for approval for the electronic warrant list, they've already received the money. It has been a fiasco.
Oh man.
She went to the bank. How did she get the credit limit on the credit cards raised when I'm sure the bond rating for Dolton has gone down since she's been mayor? So what does she know? So she knows. Do you know what the bond rating is for Dolton is right now?
I do not know, but it's probably negative.
Stephanie,
we can't get a loan probably anywhere, or if it is, it would be such high rate. It's sad. I'm sorry, David, because sometimes people don't realize that although we'll laugh about it, it is very sad for our community.
No, it's very sad. It's incredibly sad that Dolton has approximately has a population of about 20,000 people. When I looked it up, the average per capita household income in Dolton is less than $50,000. You're talking about a working class community of people with 20,000. And again, she's taking you from, I think you said it was a $3 million surplus to a $5 million deficit. So she spent $9 million, and it sounds like you just said 1.3 million of it is to build a skating rink, and she did it behind the backs of the trustees of the village.
That's absolutely correct.
Stephanie, are you a Village of Dolton resident, or are you just in the township? Obviously, but
I'm in the township. I live in the Village of Thornton.
Okay. So she's not on the ballot. Let me ask both of you this question, because we're coming up on another break, and I think this is really, really important. The salary that she's getting as the supervisor of Thornton Township is like $225,000 a year, I think, and then she gets another $50,000 a year as the mayor of the village. So that's been discussed openly in the news, that she's got a salary of $275,000, and if she doesn't win, if she's not reelected in the village, the township, because she's being removed from the ballot, I don't know that she can afford to remain the mayor of the village. I don't know how she's going to take a $225,000 hit in her salary. But I wanted to just say that just so people understand that this woman is making a huge amount of money in both of these positions, and just again the alleged amount of money that she's taking while she's in these positions is, like I said, unfathomable. I want to hear when we come back who both of you believe is the best candidate for her positions. Yeah, I'll let you speak about the person whom you believe is the best person to take over for the supervisor for Thornton Township, and then Kiana, I want to hear you comment on whom you think would be the best person to take her position as the mayor of the village of Dolton. Everybody, we're going to take another quick break and check in with the Velvet Voice. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right. What are your thoughts, folks? So, this is where we are right now. Brenda, it is very sad. I agree. Mojo, if she can't find a babysitter, we know she hasn't made arrangements for when she goes to jail. Mojo, that's what I've been saying. She needs to get her house in order. That's one of the things she needs to be working on. She has a child. And these are the types of behaviors that her daughter is exposed to. And that's not good, folks. How you doing, Janet? If you're here, please hit the like button, folks. How can you take advantage of elderly people and poor people? Brenda, have you seen all the other videos that I've done in this series? And that's what I've been saying. The older people love her. She has the bingo game. And like I was, someone dropped into the chat one day and they were like, are you saying that old people are stupid? I'm like, no. Old people are good, for the most part, salt of the earth, good people. They're not thinking about something nefarious. They're not, and folks, I'm just keeping it real. When you get older, you can't, discern evil. You just can't, and so they think that she's the, greatest thing since sliced bread. We know everything she does for votes. Baldwin, taking advantage of people in general is bad. Yes, Baldwin, yes, I agree. Chubbs, that's why Tiffany took all the money she stole, because she knows she's not going to be made right. And see, and again, it's people like her, Chubbs. Okay, if the next mayor is white or whatever, they're not black, and they always say, oh, we don't have a black man. You had a black mayor, okay? So stop it with the color. Check the policies of the individual. That's what you need to be checking, not the color of their skin. That's why these people are in this situation. They thought they knew her, and she grew up there in Dolton. And she's black. She's a woman. We're making history. Look at the results, people. No, thank you. U.S. Army retired, $250,000 a year, and she can't pay her rent. Yes, U.S. Army, you were here when I did the video on her not paying her rent. And the person who owns the home is a friend of hers. The home is about to go into foreclosure because she needs that rent money to pay the mortgage. Lily, how are you? I'm not trying to be funny, but everybody keeps talking about older people, singers. Hold on, let me see what you're saying. As if they haven't lived an entire life, and if they haven't worked an entire job. No, we're talking about Lily, how people take advantage of older people. So tell me what you think about that, what your thought process is.
Chicago.
All right, so I think that we're on the last segment here, I think. Next to last, if not the last.
Stop and go in the local lanes, the outbound between 47 and...
All right, yeah, he's getting ready to get it started up again. Zully, the town got scammed. Yes, they're being scammed. Lily says, who are these older people? The people I know aren't fooled by this, and a lot of them are seniors. I'm sick of this. It's just people who are looking for something for nothing, in my opinion. Lily, we talked about that before you got here, love. A lot of the people who are supporting her, because he asked the question, which was a very good question, and Do they think that they have enough people to vote to get rid of her? But look at all the people who still love her because she gives out a lot of freebies. Chubbs, all her money goes on weed, fake nails, and wigs and fake furs. Right. So Lily, yeah, you do have a lot of people who look, Lily, those are the people that love her because she's always giving them freebies. Michael, I want someone to check on the Veterans Pension Fund. She could also be stealing from that. Yeah, the firefighters were upset with her. So she's just gone in there and just made up her own rules. And that's not acceptable. All right, I think they're ready to get started, folks.
And tomorrow, a high of 36 degrees. I'm Candace McCollum with an update on traffic and weather on the Talk of Chicago 1690 WVON.
And now back to David Seaton on the Talk of Chicago 1690 WVON.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks to everyone in the Facebook feed. So many comments, so much feedback. And just like you just heard me say a minute ago, I've had people who have commented on Tiffany Henyard listening or watching the David Seaton show on YouTube. We've got Chris Ornsby. He just posted, watching from over the pond in Liverpool, England. Excellent interview with trustees who are actually for the residents. I'm telling you, and this gentleman who's lived, and thank you for listening over there in Liverpool. If you're still listening right now, hey, when you get an opportunity, go to YouTube, look up the David Seaton Show. There's a ton of content there on Tiffany Henyard and a lot of other topics that you're following over there. So thanks for participating. But guess what? That gentleman, he's not tuned in because he's necessarily, checking for David Seaton. People are interested in this story about Tiffany Henyard all over the world. Ladies, I know I asked you a question before we went to break, but I do want to pick up at least a couple of these calls because some of them have been holding for a while. We've got Cat Daddy online too. Cat Daddy, thanks for the call.
You're welcome. First of all, the problem that Tiffany Henyard has, which is the same problem that Brandon Johnson has, is they don't want to accede to their legislature because in bodies like the legislature always has oversight over the executive.
Yes.
I think that she is somewhat familiar with the law. She just doesn't want to obey it.
Right.
I think that's fair.
Her frequently, has she gotten any kind of advice from the Illinois Municipal League, which would deal with Dolton, and any advice from the Thornton, the township officials of Illinois? She claims she's read through the materials, but that seems to be it. She thinks that the world is just one great big place for her to go out and mess up in, and she got put in her place when she didn't get slated in that caucus because they keep incorrectly saying that she got knocked off the ballot. She never got to the ballot because no one nominated her to go on the ballot.
Right. Absolutely.
She also got put in her place with Miss Weidman when they elected her instead of one of her flying monkeys on the town board of trustees, so she could go ahead and do to the township what she's been doing to the village of Dolton.
Right.
I'm sorry, you were saying something?
No. I was saying, hey, those are great points, all, Cat Daddy. I appreciate the call. Let me hold on. Okay, thanks for the call, Cat Daddy. Let me pick up James real quick. James, thanks for calling the David Seaton Show.
And I'd like to say good evening to my hometown of Chicago. I'm calling from the Mid-South of Mississippi and Memphis. And those two ladies that you have on, I'm not trying to throw out any advertising, but I had them on my show. And there's some remarkable women. When I covered this story, it was interesting to see the people that were involved in the beginning. Trustee Belcher, Trustee House, Ms. Weedman, Trustee Weedman, spearheaded a lot and had most of the receipts that a lot of people did not have. It wasn't sour grapes. It wasn't, I'm mad at you because you fired me. But I am doing what I do because I love this community and this township. And I take my hats off to her, and I know that she's going to do great in her position. My sister Kiana, a wonderful woman dedicated to her village, a warrior. She's not going to take any mess. And as you cover her, and I'm asking your station, because I interned at that station back in 1981 under Mr. Purvis Spann. And I was an intern at VON and 1390 at the time. And I knew the standards that were held there. And I just like to say to you, Dave, as my broadcast brother, that I salute WVON for what they're doing and allowing these ladies to come on, these honorable ladies to come on and probably give a little balance to what you had the other day.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that call. I appreciate that, brother. Like I said,
Dave, great show.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. Kiana, if you and I know it's probably inappropriate for me to ask you if you are endorsing someone as a sitting trustee, but is there a candidate who's running for mayor of Dolton with whom you would like or that you would prefer to work with and work in the future?
Absolutely. Jason House, the clean house slate. That is Jason House for mayor, Allison Key for clerk, myself, I'm running for re-election, and Steve and Brittany Norwood, who's running for re-election.
Okay.
So we have a ticket. We have started with what we have right now, changing, moving things in a different direction, and we need to make sure that under the leadership of Jason House, we'll be able to bring Dolton, revitalize Dolton, and change the narrative of what's happening right now.
Kiana, I've been seeing this hashtag in Facebook the entire time that we've been doing this interview, and it says hashtag Clean House 2024. I didn't make. Right, I'm sorry, 2025. I didn't make the connection until you just said that. I just been thinking it was clean house, like get Tiffany out of there, clean house. I didn't, but again, you said that and it finally clicked. So, but and house is capitalized, so I should have caught that. So yeah, everybody, the hashtag Dolton Rising and hashtag Clean House 2025 has been trending the entire show on the Facebook feed. Stephanie, again, I know you're a recently elected trustee, so I don't want you to have any conflict of interest, but is there someone specifically with whom you would prefer to work in the position of the Thornton Township Supervisor?
Yeah, absolutely. The township race is going to look a little bit different than Dolton. It's not until April 1st. There is no primary. That's what the caucus was for. So there's a Democratic ticket running, a Republican ticket running, a new party has a ticket that's running, and then an independent. So in the supervisor race, there will be 4 people running. I am supporting Napoleon Harris. I think that, he is got a good business mind. He has strong leadership skills. He's been involved in our communities pretty much his entire life. And I think he's aware of the task at hand to be able to not only fix the image, but the relationships with the vendors, with the residents. There's been a lot more damage done than just what you see on the surface. And it's going to take a very strong leader to figure out how to pick this up and move forward.
Yeah.
I'm so glad to hear both of you have identified someone at the very, very least. And I can, again, let me just say the amount that you ladies have been lauded by your constituents in this Facebook feed. Like I said, I can't even tell you the number of compliments that both of you have received. That said, I do want to bring up this one point and get both of your opinions on this. Before Tiffany Henyard ran for mayor, she ran a Good Burger. I believe it was at South Suburban College. And when she ran that Good Burger, she lost the business and wasn't paying the rent. And, it was, I think if you go and you can go up and look up, I went to the Cyber Drive, Illinois, and I looked up the business. I don't even, it's not even in good standing the last time that I checked. But, and then subsequent to that, it was either right before or right after that, she got arrested in the city of Chicago. I believe it was at 118th in Michigan. I believe that's where it was. Again, any of you who are listening to me, you can look up both of these facts. This is information that's documented. You can look up Tiffany Henyard and Goodburger. You can look up Tiffany Henyard and her arrest record.
And if you've been here on the channel for a while, I actually did a video on that. We talked about her being arrested for breaking into cars. Okay, so if you're not familiar with that, let me know in the comment section. I'll drop the link for that video. We've already covered that, folks.
You'll see her with that yellow tank top or yellow yellow tank top, and she's got her hair looking crazy, breaking into cars. Here, what's my point? My point is that this is what this woman was doing before she ran for mayor, and just a scintilla of due diligence by someone. If you looked this woman up, you would have seen this information, like I said, out there, because before she ran for mayor, that was the only really public information that was out there about her. Question, I'll start with you, Stephanie. Given that that's the case, given that this is who this woman was before she became mayor, what does that tell voters that how important it is to just do the most cursory research on someone before you vote for them? Tiffany Henyard's ascension just happened to coincide with the Me Too movement. So she ran on this, I'm going to be the youngest Black female mayor of the city of Dolton. And so everybody's been taken on a ride for the last 4 years, because ultimately I think everyone can conclude now she doesn't know what she's doing. But what advice would you give to the listeners out there, using Tiffany Henyard as the template to say, hey, you need to at least just do a Google search on someone before you vote for them and put them in charge of your village and or your municipality?
I would say that's great advice. A lot of times when residents are politically involved, I feel like their involvement goes into, attending board meetings, showing up at events, surface level, kind of meeting these elected officials. Previously, before Tiffany was mayor, had you watched these board meetings, you could definitely see that she was feisty. You could see that she had, a lot of questions. She pushed a lot, but it always seemed to be pro-residents because she was very against the mayor that was in place. She didn't like anything he was doing. She didn't like the way he treated the residents, the way he didn't include the board, and now we fast forward to a position where she's almost mimicking what she said she hated before. Yep. So sometimes it can be like a delusion when you look at a person sitting up there, because she seemed to fight for what was right. But you're right, a simple Google search could have showed people that there were tendencies that you might not see looking from the view of her sitting up there as a board member.
And I appreciate you positing it the way that you did, that she came across as this anti-establishment, fight for the people type of politician. But I can say unabashedly, she is the most disfluent, thick-tongued, poorly spoken, and I'll just say it, ghetto politician that I ever remember seeing. And the fact that she positions herself or has presented herself as the super mayor and the people's champion does not in any way negate everything that I just said about her and everything that I've observed about her since she's raised to national prominence. I can't think, I can barely listen to her speak. It's like nails on a chalkboard. I can't imagine. I feel so sorry for you, Kiana. All of the meetings, all of those trustee meetings where you have had to sit, 3 or 4 seats away from this woman and listen to her drone on in that, like I said, unintelligible, thick-tongued, disfluent manner in which she speaks. And I was looking at the board because I didn't want you to start speaking, Kiana, and then we have to go to a break. What your thoughts on what Stephanie just answered about what responsibility do residents have? Because I guarantee you there are going to be some people who are going to still vote for this woman. They're going to say, oh, she's just been railroaded, or, oh, she cut my tree down. So, I love me some Tiffany. As a matter of fact, we're going to take this last break. And then, Kiana, I want you to answer that on the other side. Because this is about Tiffany Henyard, but this is instructive about politics in general. You should know something about the people for whom you vote. We're going to take our last break and come back with both trustees and let Kiana answer that question to people. What due diligence should you perform before you vote for somebody? Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the David Seaton Show. We'll be right back.
How many of you have been on the channel for more than a year? How many times have I said that? Mostly in reference to, of course, the presidential race, as well as local races wherever you're living. I have said it. I have beat that horse to death. Oh my God. Tijuana Border Jumper, thank you for the super chat, love. I hope people realize this kind of behavior crosses all boundaries. Look at California's gruesome new scum. If you're corrupt, you're corrupt. Yes. Tijuana Border Jumper, you're absolutely right, love. And Tijuana Border Jumper, I was looking for the video because I've done so many on her. I'm trying to see which video that I mentioned. She was arrested for breaking into cars. So just a quick Google search, people would have known that. And some people are okay with that. I'm not. If you're my mayor and I'm thinking about voting for you, I need to know that. And I was reading the people who get the freebies from her. I was reading a lot of statements they made. What difference does it make who someone's dating or what they did in the past? It makes a heck of a lot of difference to me. Integrity. So again, you still have those people who are going to vote for her. They don't have more than 2 brain cells. They can't. Brenda, that's what I'm saying. I like this guy. Now that Cleopatra, that other woman, she can go on somewhere, but this guy is for the truth. He is for the truth. And I like that. Hit the like button, folks, please. Tijuana Border Jumper. I just flooded the comment section with hearts, and they're all for you, love. Thank you so much. Tijuana, right. If you're corrupt, you're just corrupt. And she's a Democrat, so, well, that explains it. Where are we here? Okay. So that's where we are. Like I said, this guy seems to be very transparent. And he's just, hey, he's not asking softball questions. He's asking questions that we need to know the answers to. And I like that. This is totally different from that Cleopatra lady. Tijuana Border Jumper, thank you so much, love, for the super chat. Again, another super chat. It's a pattern of behavior. If they did it in the past, they could do it in the future. Yes. Truth bomb, Tijuana Border Jumper. If I'm going to vote for you, I want to know if you've, committed crimes. And again, just a simple Google search. Tijuana Border Jumper, I flooded the comment section, love, just for you. Again, those hearts are for you. But yeah, and it's sad that where we are, if you remember when I started this series, some people were going to vote for Kamala, the Curry Queen. Some people were going to vote for Trump. And I told you a lot of people were voting for Kamala because the Democratic Party told lies. She's black. Vote for her because she's black. I kept telling people, what are her I kept asking, what are her policies? There were no policies. Don't ask questions. Shut up and vote is what black people were told. And I'm like, no, ma'am, no, sir, I don't operate that way. I need to see policies. All right. So let me get this started back up. It's almost over, people. 10 more minutes.
Another cold one by Brian McKnight, everybody. We've got a trustee Stephanie and trustee Kiana on. Kiana, we left off with you, but before you answer that question, Nancy Harry just posted in the Facebook chat that Tiffany Henyard is also the liquor commissioner. Is that true?
That is true. That's part of the job as the president and mayor of our village, she's the liquor commissioner. That's true.
So this woman was the supervisor of Thornton Township. She was the mayor of the village of Dolton. She's the liquor commissioner. She has signing authority for business licenses, and she's been holding up people's business licenses. She was writing checks, and when the trustee said, we're not going to allow you to write any more checks and we're not going to approve any more invoices, then she took the credit card from the village, went down to the bank, got the credit limit raised on the credit card, and went out there and just spent the money anyway.
Yeah.
And there's actually someone in the chat who put that obviously she's not going to be reelected as the Thornton Township supervisor because she's not on the ballot. But he went on to say that she's going to get reelected as the mayor of Dolton. If she gets reelected as the mayor of Dolton, shame on the residents of Dolton.
Yes.
Trustee Kiana, please speak as we close this segment to just the minimum due diligence that voters need to do before you elect someone to represent you.
Well, and I'm going to say this, David. I've always been transparent, and I'm going to say people know that in 2021, when she became the mayor, I ran on her ticket. It was myself, it was Jason House, Allison Key, Kevin Bowen, who didn't make the election. But we felt that all of us had a collaborative knowledge to help her. So yes, she wasn't the best candidate, but it was the best of two or the best of three that we had. So we had to kind of pick and choose what we could work with. And we thought, and I'll just say, I'm very transparent to say, we thought that with our knowledge, we would be able to help her get through some of the hurdles that was had. She wasn't convicted. You know, people do have things that's going on in life. So, but due diligence of even when she was talking as a trustee, she was a trustee for 8 years. You would think that she perceived it as she was working in the benefit of the community. And maybe she was. The issue probably was she was doing what she did as the mayor. She was just doing what she wanted to do and wasn't following, and that may have caused the friction. So it definitely is, you have to come to board meetings. You have to follow. You have to ask questions. Asking questions is a lot that goes into finding out who a person really is. Because when we started running, and I had to be with her every day in the midst of the campaign, I was like, oh boy, I think we done got ourselves in a big problem. But it was too late. Yeah. So it's all about, you know, learning people, asking questions, and you're gonna have to ask those tough questions because you want to know the person that you're putting in this position, especially as the president and the executive of the community. They have to be able to be responsible and be able to work on behalf of the community and not themselves.
Trustee Kiana Belcher and Trustee Stephanie Weedman, thank both of you for coming on today. I do not.
Let me pause this for a second. Lanita, I have got to read your comment because this is what I said all along. Lanita said they knew she was shady. Yes, Lanita. And she's not saying it, but what is the super mayor always talking about? I was the first Black female, the youngest. They were trying to make history. Now, they're not saying it on here, but yeah, you know, that was had in some conversations too. So they knew about her deficiencies. And Lanita, yes, they knew she was shady. But we're trying to make history. Well, look at what the history has gotten you. And Chubbs, I'm with you. If they vote her back in, they get what they deserve. So all they can do is hope and pray that enough people, all right, vote another way. Chubbs, the people of her town need to learn this. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Right. I mean, you know what she is. You knew what she was. Lanita, were you here when I did the video on the super mayor? And I showed, it was just last week. It was just a few videos ago. And she was taught, at that time, she was just a trustee. You could see how she was nasty then when she was there talking. She was talking at that time to the mayor, I think, about tree cutting or something of that nature. And those tendencies, she was doing that when she was a trustee. And then again, you give a narcissist person power. Okay. Yeah, they don't get better love. They get worse. Hit that like button if you're enjoying this content. We're almost done with this. Lanita, yes. Yes, Lanita gets it. Yes. Once people like that get in, it's hard to remove them. Look at AOC. Tijuana, right. And you see these people with these qualities and you overlook them and you vote for them anyway. Brenda gets it. Yes. She didn't just all of a sudden start her nefarious activities and this bad, unacceptable behavior. They knew she's been doing things. But again, the youngest, she's Black, she's a female. We're making history. Dewey. How you doing, Dewey? And that will get you in trouble. You cannot vote emotionally, folks. That's why they're in such a predicament. And like I said, that lady is not saying it, but if you agree, and you may not, if you agree, type it in the comment section. We've been talking about that for over a year. We were talking about why so many Black Americans vote for Democrats. It's the same situation. Black people are in positions that the Democrats place them in. They'll put one here, one there. Oh, look, they like Black people. They put them in high positions. They despise you. They put people in those positions because they know you are emotional. And if you see someone that looks like you, you're going to vote for them. I just dropped another truth bomb. How you doing, Tashi? And Lanita, she's been arrogant about tricking people, right? And this is not new behavior. As I told my students today, a lot of the things that you're doing now, you'll be doing in 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. I tell my students, now, if they come to classes late, we're supposed to write them up and then call their parents. And every once in a while, I have a student say, it's not that serious. And I'm like, no, it's not. But I'm not just teaching you my curriculum. I'm also teaching you about life. And I help students get jobs. And right, Tijuana, it's a pattern. And once you leave here and go get a job, I meet with employers. I ask them, about the deficiencies of our students. What's a major issue? Tardies, or they don't come to work at all. So this was a pattern of behavior. They've seen it. They're not saying anything about it now. But again, Lanita, and I don't know who else was here. Learned behavior. Yes, Lanita. One of those psychology terms, Lanita. Yes. And so they knew this was a powder keg. But I guess they thought, oh, well, we're making history and it'll be okay. No, it's not. It blew up in your face. And so, again, folks, those of you who've been here for a while, if you haven't, go back and look at my videos a year old. I've said this. You cannot vote to make history. You cannot vote because someone's skin color is the same color as yours. Look at all of these liberal cities. All these Democratic cities look like war zones. They keep on voting for people because they're Black and the cities have been destroyed. Vote for people that have the best policies. Like I said, now I have hope. They voted Stephanie Weedman back, because the super mayor fired her. And Stephanie Weedman, it shouldn't matter, but she is white. So there is hope. And again, the super mayor, those that don't know, she fired her because Stephanie Weedman is not about that nonsense and about the shenanigans. And she was white. So, well, Tiffany surrounded herself with Black flunkies, people who will listen to her, who will not tell her that is not right to do. And that's just how it goes. Chubbs, Miss Rowland, you have a good heart. Tiffany has a heart of a demon. Chubbs. Yeah, I'm trying, Chubbs. I'm just trying to call out this nonsense. Michael, so the final will come out next week. Hit the like button for me, folks. Next week, the final report. She's already released a preliminary. The final report's coming out next week. And Michael, there are millions of dollars missing. And she has said nothing about it. Brenda, it's going to take years for that town to get out of this. Right, Brenda? Exactly. Voting has consequences. Lanita, never vote blindly for personnel, but vote for policy. Brenda, dummies. Right. I'm saying, what good is it going to help you? You're voting for someone because they're Black. And, you're living in a war zone. Like Chicago, that's been Democratic since the beginning of time. California. Look at all the Baltimore, Philadelphia. Who wants to live in a Democratic city? I don't. Tijuana, I rooted for Kim Clackett for Baltimore, but the other Blacks destroyed her. Maybe she could have made Baltimore great. We'll never know. Yep, Tijuana. You know how that goes, love. If you're not down with the nonsense and the shenanigans, they'll get rid of you. So that's just how it goes. And it's just sad. This is 2025, and it's just sad that people, the state of affairs, and the reasons that people are voting for the people that they vote for, to me, that is totally, totally unacceptable. Let me see what else he has to say, and then we'll get out of here, folks.
Not envy either of you and the enormity of what it is that you're trying to navigate right now. But again, let me just say the final thing to everyone who's out there who's listening: politics is local. We spend so much time talking about Donald Trump and what we think he's going to do and this and this and that. But I guarantee you, the residents of Dolton have been far more impacted negatively by Mayor Tiffany Henyard than any president. Please believe me. And that goes for the residents of the village of Thornton as well. Ladies, I see Dr. Nikita is back on the line, so I'm going to let both of you go. I'm going to reach out to both of you also before when early voting starts around February 10th. And because I want to do everything I can to use my platform to prevent Mayor Tiffany Henyard from getting voted back in as mayor, and I want to do everything I can to help both of you and continue, help you bolster your success as well. So thank you both for coming on today. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you both. We will talk again soon.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. Let me pick up Nikita. Dr. Nikita, are you there?
I am here. Wow, that was an amazing conversation.
I thought you were calling back with some more tea or some more breaking news.
Every time we talk, I got the tea, but now
I know that's your word. That's what I don't want nobody to think I'm stealing somebody else's phrase. But I know that's your go-to. So no, I appreciate you again. I appreciate you coming on. I really appreciate you bringing on Tiffany and hearing the story of she and her husband, of her and her husband opening up that St. Patrick's. Somebody put earlier in the chat that they were going to fly back into Dolton to go to that restaurant. So
and listen, you will not be disappointed. I had an opportunity to taste some of the food.
Okay.
And it was a sneak preview because they're not open yet. But when I tell you their food is good, food is good. The seasoned, yes.
Let's do this, Dr. Nikita. I just told both of the trustees early voting starts on February 10th for the village of Dolton, and then they're going to be voting for the village supervisor. That's going to be in April. Let's make sure we get back together, and I want to do everything that I can to make sure Tiffany Henyard does not get reelected in village. And I think you agree with that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Let's get it done.
I will be in touch.
All right. Thank you, David.
Have
a great one, guys.
Thank you. Have a great night. I'm just going to pick up one of these calls because we're down to our you know what? We're down to our last 90 seconds. So do me a favor. Everybody in the Facebook chat, I appreciate you.
So that's pretty much it, folks. I wanted to share that with you because when I was talking to you earlier, some of you said, yeah, I kind of want to hear what he has to say. So hit that like button for me, folks. But these are the consequences. So vote intelligently, research. And again, I know some people, I'm reading some of the comments on Facebook and other forms of social media. People, oh, it doesn't matter what she did. These people, I'm like, obviously they don't have any morals or something, because that matters to me if you're going to get my vote. Tijuana, pray for all our little hamlets and get involved. Tijuana, that's all we can do, love. And again, who's suffering? Dolton, Thornton. You know what you need to do. You know what your mistake is. Tijuana, you're correct, but I'm also, Chubbs, you're also correct. If they vote her back in, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You know what you have. Forget bingo and bouncy houses for children and free boxes of food and toys. Forget that. What about your town? And you heard what this man just said. They are suffering. Voting has consequences. And I know she's always, I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Now, I'll tell you where she got that phrase. She got that phrase from church, because a lot of Black churches, they have, the preacher will tell people to say that to their neighbor. And love has nothing to do with it. She wants your vote. Point blank. Smarten up, people. And don't be tricked. Don't be bamboozled or fooled. Okay? And I like I said, if they can get now, one of the ladies talking said that they're really getting out talking to people. So we can only hope and pray that more people, will wake up and say, no, this isn't right. All right, this is, stop listening to her lies. She's being attacked because she's Black and because she's a woman, and people are jealous of her. No. Go in front of those people and say, look at these millions of dollars. Especially, okay, so what is it? Early next week, Lori Lightfoot's coming out with the final report. When you go to talk to these people, take one, say, look, ma'am, sir, look right here. Show them the mug shot. That's not someone being attacked. That's truth. Sharing the truth is now attacking people? Get out of here. Brenda, I'm so happy to be here tonight with all of you. This is a great channel. Brenda, we're glad that you're here, love, and keep coming back. Chubbs, vote her in or out. We need to keep up with stupid mayor. She's so funny and she's a weed head. Yes. And Chubbs, everything that she's being investigated for, she might go make some time now. I'm just saying. Some of that stuff is really serious. Too big to rig, right, Chris? Tell those old people you can have bingo and other, programs, but you don't have to vote for her. No, not with this track record. No, that's not going to work. So that's where we are. And I guess it's time to get off of here now. If you did not, I have about 100 people in here. If you did not see my video, and you need to see the video I did last night on Sexy Red and how she thought it was all right to make a little AI picture with her and Dr. Martin Luther King and post it all over social media. Love you too, Brenda. Here we go. So Brenda and whoever else did not, Chris, I don't think you were here last night. Tijuana Border Jumper. Make sure you check it. Zelly, please make sure you check out my video from last night. It's excellent. And It's just some of these people, this generation is just lost. She thought it was all right for her to make a picture, AI picture of her scantily clad, and she's dancing, holding hands with Dr. King. She thought that was okay. Until Bernice King asked her to take it down, and she did. Tijuana border jumper. You see that link I just dropped? That's from last night, love. Check it out. And leave me a comment. I will definitely respond, but totally ridiculous. She thought Sexy Red thought that behavior was okay. So again, she's about like the super mayor. She's not surrounded by people who are intelligent, who say, wait a minute, you probably shouldn't do that. Brenda, you saw that? Brenda, yes. Why would you think that would be okay? Oh my God, that was totally deplorable, disrespectful, and I can think of a few more D words. She thought it was okay, and that's a problem. I will probably go live tomorrow. I don't know what time. Probably later tomorrow afternoon, I'll go live. Brenda, I don't know if you were here last night, but I just dropped that link. That link that I just dropped. Check it out. And I actually shared some of Sexy Red's lyrics. I didn't say them because they're vile and they're vulgar, but I shared my computer screen so you can see the filth, the words that are in her rap songs. Brenda said all of the above. Yes. So all of you who are here, I will be live tomorrow. Probably tomorrow afternoon, I'm thinking. I don't know, maybe 5 or 6-ish, something like that. I enjoyed all of you, and I went live because you asked me to. And I said, what the heck? It's Friday. And so I came back on. I did a video earlier. So if you missed that video, you did? Brenda, thank you, love. All right. Tijuana border jumper. I'm sharing the link for the video that I did earlier. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Tijuana border jumper, for your super chats. Tijuana border jumper, the link I just dropped, that was from the video I did earlier, love, on the mass deportations. Woohoo! They have started. Chubb, so glad people in heaven can't see how this world is like they could. Oh, my God. They would just be like, oh, my goodness. All right. Okay, where are we here? Okay. So we're going to get out of here. Where are we here? Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll go. And so I enjoyed each of you. And if you have time, if you remember, once I end the live, please go and leave comments under the video. And if I don't get them tonight, I will definitely respond to them in the morning. I promise. How you doing, Michael? Michael, yes, it's almost over. Hit the like button for me, Michael. It's almost over. Michael, we're leaving. So go ahead and be part of the replay gang, okay? Michael, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, love, if you're enjoying this content. We're glad to have you. Okay? Yes, Brenda. Yeah, Brenda, go get you some sleep, dear. Good night to all of you. I will go to the chat section once I end the video, and I'll stay there and respond to you as long as you're there. Thank you again for spending your very valuable time here at the Roland's Reviews YouTube channel. So I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you're subscribed on all notifications so you'll see when I go live. I'm thinking tomorrow afternoon sometime. Either 2 o'clock or 8 o'clock. I'm not sure. But I will be live tomorrow. All right. I'm coming to talk to you now in the comment section.